offense, but Robert Griffin obviously proving his worth. I feel like he's a tremendous quarterback, but one key that you want to know over in Washington, a guy by the name of Alfred Morris, 2 touchdowns, almost 100 yards rushing for him, and also for the 6th round pick. We didn't even know until game time that he was going to be the starting running back for the Redskins. Obviously, Roy Hulu and Evan Royster were supposed to be those guys. Obviously, for the Redskins offensively, proving their worth in week 1, but I'm interested, just scratching my head on how good the Redskins were offensively, or how bad the Saints were at covering this passing and rushing attack.
That's a good point on your part. I mean, it was circa 2007 right there. I mean, Robert Griffin III looked like Tom Brady, and, you know, it just seemed like a reunion of '07 again, but yeah, I agree with you. And something that also surprised me, the New England Patriots. I know they were going to win that game, obviously better than the Titans, but the fashion that they did it in. Usually Brady would throw for 3 touchdowns for 300 yards or 4 touchdowns for 350 yards, but Brady threw for 2 touchdowns, a little bit over 250, and they ran the football effectively. Defense got 2 turnovers, a pick, and a fumble. So this Patriots team is more complete to me than it seems like in the past. Do you think this is a better New England Patriots team because it seems like they're firing on all cylinders?
Well, I don't want to put all of my back on 1 week. Now, for the Patriots in week 1, they did shut down the running game and run very effectively offensively. Stephen Ridley, of all guys in week 1 to have over 100 yards on the ground, Stephen Ridley does not come to mind. A guy that's more known for putting up big numbers is a guy like CJ2K, who did in fact have 2,000 a few years ago. He is on his way out of the National Football League, partner. 11 rushes for 4 yards in the opening week of the year against the Patriots defense. That team was last year ranked near dead last in total defense. Honestly, for New England, now that you see the defense coming alive, it's all about if Brady can get it done. And we know time and time again that he certainly can. You have to scratch your head on how terrible Jake Locker played in this game, but for the Patriots, it's all about making sure that you don't make the big mistakes. And for New England, it's on to the playoffs with this kind of performance, Cameron.
Yeah, to me, I think they're a way more complete team than last year. The running game is mightily important because there was way too much on Tom Brady, too much pressure on Tom Brady in that Super Bowl. I feel like with the addition of Ridley, I mean he was there last year as a rookie, but now finally knowing the playbook and really maximizing his opportunity. I want to talk about something that also surprised me too. Not just Brandon Weeden throwing 4 interceptions, but also the Cleveland Browns having a chance to beat the Philadelphia Eagles and Michael Vick. But sadly, at home, Cleveland loses by 1 against the Eagles. So 17-16 victory for the Eagles. Are you surprised that the Eagles could not get that much done offensively, knowing how much talent that they have and that Michael Vick can absolutely sling it? But it didn't show today. Are you extremely surprised with what happened today?
Well, first of all, I'm not the biggest fan of Michael Vick, going back to obviously his off-the-field issues from years ago. In his days in Atlanta, of course, he just seemed to produce more talk off the field than play on the field. And for a city that, for Penn State, lost on a last-second field goal yesterday, and then today barely beating one of the worst teams in the NFL, you have to be concerned with the city, just how poorly their football teams have been playing in the past few days. And obviously, LaShawn McCoy, you have that consistency over there for Philadelphia in the backfield. But when you have Mike Vick throwing 56 times in one contest, especially against a defense as lackluster as Cleveland, you have to be worried with just how bad that the Eagles have been playing so far. Cleveland, obviously one of the worst teams in the league. Will they be able to bounce back? I'm scratching my head on just how poorly Cleveland played in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland looked But just both teams, I hated watching that game. No, I mean, the offense, it was terrible offense. Offense was horrible, but you look at these games, also, last one I'm going to talk about, the Jets. The Jets, they usually, they got a lot of criticism with bringing that guy again, Tim Tebow, that we don't really like talking about a lot because he's talked about everywhere and we want to add something new. But hey, Tebow caught a onside kick, got 5 plays, got 5 runs, didn't get 1 chance to throw. You look at Tebow, that wasn't that great, but Sanchez, he did great today. He really put on a show. He had 3 touchdowns today, 266 yards, 48-28 victory for the Jets. Do you think that bringing Tebow sparked a fire under Sanchez and has made him a better player?
Let's not get too high on one victory, partner. The Jets still have a lot of issues, including that defense. Let's not be too high on that defensive side of the football for the Jets. And offensively, Sanchez, time and time again, is inconsistent. I'm still going to back my head on that one after one good game that Sanchez had in a very lackluster past few years for him and the Jets. So after one win against his team, as pathetic as the Bills are on defense, I can't get too high on him just yet. And obviously, he just spread the ball again today. I mean, Mark Sanchez is a good quarterback. I mean, he did get to the championship game 2 out of the past 3 years, but Mark Sanchez is not the kind of quarterback we saw in this game against the Bills. Just putting that out there, especially with how bad Buffalo does defensively. I will be interested to see how Tebow plays and how many snaps he gets for the Jets. But Mark Sanchez is the guy. Rex Ryan said it from day one. So it's going to be about how Sanchez plays, but in my mind, this is just a mere coincidence. I feel like Sanchez, average quarterback, even in his 4th year for the Jets.
I agree with you, but to me, look, I don't believe in the Jets really, so it just surprised me that they put up that much. Even if they were playing against kindergartners, I still think they're not, that great offensively. So, I mean, that's what surprised me. But I don't know. You're right. It's all about consistency in the NFL. I mean, look last year, right? The Buffalo Bills were 2-0. To start. Patriots lost to them week 2. People were up in arms. People were going crazy. And Oakland was doing well in the beginning of the season. But both teams didn't make the playoffs. So, you're right. Week 1, a lot of surprises, but you never know until the end of the season. I really appreciate it, Nick. And he has a show, NFL Goal Line, with Phil Nunziata. Is it at, what time is it? One more time. Can you tell me?
We'll be talking everything about the NFL, including giving you up-to-date recaps around the NFL and a scoring update with the Oakland Raider and San Diego Charger game. I'm really interested to see how the Chargers play in Oakland. And obviously already a lot of intriguing storylines in Week 1. Thanks, Cameron, for having me on, and of course, wish you the best of luck for the remaining of the show.
All right, thank you very much. We'll definitely listen, and I think the people who are listening to this show will listen too.
Yes, of course, and we'll be going obviously in depth on that Philadelphia game, just how terrible the Ravens played and almost beat the Eagles. It was very interesting.
All right, talk to you later. All right, he went. Okay, we're gonna take a quick timeout, and when we come back, live updates. Packers, Niners, 10-0. San Francisco on the road. I'll explain what's going on there and much more after the break. Okay. Niners, Packers. Green Bay, knocking on the doorstep in the red zone. Rodgers to Cobb for a, let's see here, 14-yard gain, I believe. The replay didn't show completely. But in this game, Randy Moss caught his first touchdown. He has 2 catches today. He's got 1 touchdown in this one. Rodgers and the Packers haven't scored at all today, but the Niners winning 10-0 with 5 minutes to go here. Rodgers in the gun, everybody out. Rodgers looks, but we have a delay of game by Rodgers as the play clock winding down and hit the deathly 0. So 5 yards back for Green Bay. 1st and 15 upcoming. So Randall Cobb at his side. Rodgers in the gun. 2 to his left. Nelson to his right. Finley at tight end. Rodgers gets the snap. Rodgers looks, fires right down the middle. Overthrown to Jermichael Finley. And we got a flag on the field as there's some extracurricular activity. And I believe Finley was trying to get into it as he looks shaken up. Limping to the huddle. Finley. Oh, we have some trash talking and we might have a fight sparking up here in Green Bay. Gums are bumping in here in Green Bay. Finley limping and trying to put his shoe on as his shoe flew. And Dante Whitner getting into it with, and Cox, they both got into it with Finley. Tripping each other. And before that even occurred, Finley thought it was pass interference, trying to plead his case, and then Cox tripped him up. And then Cox hits the shin, I believe, of Finley, and then Finley limps to the huddle, and now we're back here. 1st and goal. They call pass interference, and the ball's at the 1-yard line. Audible right in the gun. 2 to his left, 2 to his right. John Kuhn at his side. Rodgers fires a slant to Jermichael Finley. Touchdown. Finley responds, and Lambeau leaps into the crowd. First touchdown of the day for the Packers. Quick X slant right in between the numbers of Finley for 6. Crosby to attempt. It is up, and it's good. 10-7 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second. There's a TV timeout over there. Let's go to Arizona, where Marshawn Lynch bounces his way for a 2.5-yard gain. In Arizona, 10-3 score there. Seattle trailing by a touchdown and an extra point. Here is Russell Wilson, announced the starter just weeks ago, surprisingly over Matt Flynn, the highly paid quarterback, former bench quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, as Lynch tries to run. Lynch keeping his legs churning, about 2. He got about 2 yards, I believe, on that carry. So Wilson, he was drafted by the Colorado Rockies in 2010. So this man is a by-sport man. He's a multi-sport guy. He's very athletic. You can even see in the way he runs. 3rd and 5 in the gun. Here is Wilson.